Hello everyone, this is Sara Sach with Posh Pooch Designs, and today's video is our 11th 6-inch square for our year-long crochet along. And if you're just catching up with us, each month for the year of 2017 I have designed a 6-inch square like this one or similar with the month's birthstone as my inspiration. This month's is November. It is the yellow topaz, and we only have one more month to go. Now this is a free crochet pattern on my blog, and you can find that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. Now if you're looking for the other 6-inch squares, you can find them on Ravelry. You can also find them here on YouTube. Just look in my other videos under Granny Squares. You can also find the other ones, the other patterns for the other 10 6-inch squares in that link that's under this video. Just click that link and then scroll down that page, and at the bottom of the page is a link that will take you to those other squares. So this is November's 6-inch square. We're calling it the yellow topaz, and I decided to do another one in the ombre design, which means we went from dark to light and then back to dark. And you can do the opposite if you want to. You can start with the light and go light to medium and up if you want to. I just really love this style. What you're going to need to make today's square is you're going to need 3 colors of worsted weight number 4 yarns. We're using a gold, a kind of a lemon yellow, and this bright yellow as our 3 colors. These are all Red Heart Super Saver, and but you can use any worsted weight number 4 yarn that you would like. We're going to be stitching today with our H hook. It's an H8, which is a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. You're also going to need a needle for weaving in those ends, and of course a pair of scissors for clipping those yarns. Go gather up your supplies and we'll get November's square done. All right, let's make our slip knot. Put our hook in the loop and chain 5. We're going to take the tail of that yarn, place it over our hook, and pull it through that loop. Close it up so we have a little loop to work with. We'll just make a little tie over there to hold that loop. There we go. All right, once we have our little 5-chain loop made, we'll put our hook in, pull up a loop, and chain 4. This chain 4 counts as a double crochet chain 1, and we're going to double crochet chain 1 7 more times. So yarn over, go in our little chain 5, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the second 2 loops, and chain 1. All right, we're going to repeat this 6 more times so that we'll have a total of 8 double crochets, chain 1. All right, let me count, see how many I've made so far. So our chain 3 and our chain 1 counted as our first double crochet, chain 1. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need to do one more double crochet, chain 1, and we're going to join to that top of the first chain 3, not the chain 4, with a slip stitch. So we'll put our hook through, pull up a loop, and pull that loop through the loop that's already on our hook. Now we're going to go right in that first, chain 1 space, and chain 3. And this is what our first row should look like. We join to the top of the chain 3, and we chained 3 in that first chain 1 space. Now the chain 3 counts as 1 double crochet. We're going to double crochet in that same chain 1 space and chain 1. Now in each of the chain 1 spaces around, we're going to place 2 double crochets, chain 1. 1, 2, and chain 1. 1, 2, and chain 1 all the way around. And we should have 8 groups of 2 double crochets, chain 1. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's our chain 1. We're going to join to the top. There we go. Of our chain 3, and then we're going to slip stitch in the top of that double crochet and then slip stitch in that next chain 1 space, because we're going to change colors. We're not going to change chain 3 here. Go ahead and clip our yarn, and that's how it should look after row 2. So now we're going to join in our next color of yellow. We'll go in that chain 1 space and chain 3. This chain 3 will count as our first double crochet. And I just pull a little on those strings in the back until I can weave them in, just to tuck them down. All right, so let's make another double crochet in that chain 1 space. Then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to stitch 2 more double crochets in this same chain 1 space. And chain 1. This is our first corner that we made. In the next chain 1 space, we're going to stitch 2 double crochets. Then we'll chain 1. We'll go to the next chain 1 space and we'll stitch 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, and this will be our next corner. So what we're doing on this row is forming our square. We're going to have 4 corners and 4 sides. Chain 1, and now we go to our next chain 1 space and only stitch 2 double crochets. And chain 1. There's our second corner made. Now we'll go to the next chain 1 space and stitch another corner. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. 1, and 2. Chain 1, and now we're to the next side, and we'll stitch 2 double crochets, chain 1. Alrighty, we have one more corner to make and one more side to make. 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochets, chain 1, and now we're to our last chain 1 space and last side. So we'll stitch 2 double crochets, chain 1, and now we're going to join to the top of that chain 3. We'll slip stitch in the next stitch, and then we'll go right in that chain 1 space and stitch a chain 3. And this is how, tuck those strings in, row 3 should look. For row 4, we're going to do the corner the same as we did for row 3. So our chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, and then we're going to place a double crochet, chain 1, and 2 double crochets in this same chain 1 space. Alright, now for the side, it's just a little bit different. We're going to double crochet in between the first 2 double crochets. So put your hook in between and stitch a double crochet. Then we're going to place 1 double crochet in that chain 1 space. We'll place a double crochet between these next 2 double crochets. We'll stitch a double crochet in the chain 1 space, and then again we'll place a double crochet between the next 2 double crochets. And you should have, besides your corner, 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're to the next corner. So we'll place 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. The corners are stitched exactly the same as we did on round 3. Alright, we're going to do this side like we did this side. So we'll place 1 double crochet in between those next 2 double crochets. We'll place a double crochet in the chain 1 space. We'll place a double crochet between the next 2 double crochets, a double crochet in the chain 1 space, and then a double crochet between the next 2 double crochets. Not counting our corner, we have 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to stitch another corner. Two double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. And we'll repeat what we did here on our next 2 corners. Apply a little yarn there. There's our next side with those 5 double crochets, and now we'll do the corner the same. And now I'm going to do the side. these. So we've got all 4 sides, all 4 corners. And now we're going to join to the top of this chain 3. We're going to slip stitch in the top of that next double crochet, and then we'll slip stitch in the corner. And that's how row 4 should look. We finished our 2 rows of our bright yellow, so we're going to go ahead and cut our yarn, and we're going to add in our light yellow. There we go. We'll go in this chain 1 space. There we go. Snug everything down and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And again, the chain 3 counts as our double crochet. And we're going to do the corner exactly the same with 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And so our chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. All right, so there's our first corner. So after we've got our first corner made, we need to place a double crochet between those next 2 double crochets. And then we're going to chain 1. Now this next portion is a little bit different. We're going to be doing some front post double crochets and some regular double crochets. So we're going to place a front post double crochet around the next double crochet. Now the post of the stitch is this long portion down here. We usually stitch in the top, but we're going to stitch around the double crochet post. So we're going to put our hook through. All right, so yarn over, go around or through, pull up a loop, yarn over, and finish that double crochet the way we normally do. Now we'll double crochet in the top of the next double crochet, and then we'll stitch another front post double crochet. Then we'll stitch a regular double crochet, one more front post double crochet. We're going to chain 1, and then we'll place a double crochet between these next 2 double crochets. And this is the way that it will look. Corner, double crochet, chain 1, front post, regular double, front post, regular double, front post, chain 1, and then double crochet. All right, so let's do another side. Here's our first corner, 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. We're going to double crochet between these first 2 double crochets. We're going to chain 1, then we're going to front post double crochet, double crochet in the next, front post double crochet, double crochet in the next double crochet, front post double crochet, then we'll chain 1, double crochet between the next 2 stitches, and then we'll do another corner, 2 double crochet, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. And there's that second side. We did this side, double crochet, chain 1, front post, double crochet, front post, double crochet, front post, chain 1. Then we placed a double crochet between those next 2 double crochets, and then we did our corner. 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. All right, let's do our last side together. So we'll place that double crochet between those first 2 double crochets, and we'll chain 1. We'll skip that next double crochet and place a front post double crochet, double crochet, front post, double crochet, and then a double crochet, a front post, double crochet, then we'll chain 1 and place a double crochet between those next 2 double crochets. And now we're going to join to the top of our chain 3. And that is the way row 5 should look. We'll go ahead and cut our yarn because we're going to be joining back in our gold color for the trim. When you tied off your light yellow color, make sure you slip stitched over to the corner to that chain 1 space. Now we're going to join in our next color. If you're changing colors, remember you don't have to change colors like I did. All right, we're going to go in that corner, pull up a loop, make sure everything is snug down, and chain 3. And our corner again is the same. Our chain 3 counts as our double crochet, and so we're going to place another double crochet, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. All right. Now we're going to place a double crochet between these next 2 double crochets. So we'll go in there and place a double crochet. Then we'll go between the next 2 and place another double crochet. We're going to chain 1. We're going to skip this chain 1 space and we're going to stitch a front post double crochet. Chain 1, skip this next stitch and stitch only the front post double crochet. Chain 1, skip the next double crochet and only stitch a front post double crochet. Here we go. Now we're going to chain 1, get around there, and we'll place 1 double crochet between these next 2 double crochets, and we'll stitch another double crochet between the next 2 double crochets. So here's our corner. We have 2 double crochets, chain 1, front post, chain 1, front post, chain 1, front post, chain 1, and then the 2 double crochets. All right, let's do the next corner. We're going to place 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. Now we'll place a double crochet between these next 2 double crochets, and then we'll place another double crochet between the next 2 double crochets. Chain 1, front post double crochet, whoopsie, there we go, chain 1, front post double crochet, chain 1, front post double crochet, and chain 1. Then we'll place 1 double crochet between those next 2 and 1 double crochet between the next 2. So here's our corner again. 2 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, front post, chain 1, skip 1, front post, chain 1, skip 1, front post, chain 1, skip 1. Then we have those 2 double crochets between the double crochets. All right, let's do another corner. And then we'll keep going on down this side. There's the next side. We finished this side. Let's do this corner and get the last side finished. There's the corner. The 2 double crochets between the 2 double crochets, chain 1, front post, skip 1, front post, chain 1, skip 1, front post, chain 1, double crochet between the next 2 sets of double crochet, and now we're going to join to the top of that chain 3 with the slip stitch. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and cut our yarn. We'll pull that loop to the back. So the front has a little bit better appearance to it. And then we'll need to take some time to finish weaving in our ends. But this is what, tuck those strings in and get those weaved in later. And this is what our 6-inch square for November, our yellow topaz, looks like. Here's the November topaz square that I did earlier. Here's the one I did today. And you'll notice the gold's just a little bit lighter. In this one I used a little bit lighter of a gold. Thought maybe it would help it to photograph better. But this is the way that your November topaz 6-inch square for our crochet along should look.